All right. So this is our skills training for the week. We are redoing a skills training that we had at National Tour. So anybody who was not at the National Tour, this is new for Spat and Michelle were both at National Tour. So this should be easy for them because they've already done it. We are going to talk about sharing your story. It is truly the most powerful tool that you have in your toolbox. You should get really, really good at sharing your story. You can do product stories, you can do your personal story, you can use this template for pretty much anything in your business. So it's very formulaic and you're just going to use it over and over again to share information with people. So the first thing is going to be what's your background? Who are you? And this can be again, this can be about you personally and sort of your business story, but it can also be a product story, right? So, if you are a mom who, a stay-at-home mom, you can talk about that and how, okay, you need to put him downstairs because I know. All right, well, he needs to chill out. Um, so you need you need to tell your background first. This should be really short. This is not like going into great detail about who you are. It's just like a one sentence thing, telling who you are. Um, Also keep it very relatable. If you are a NASA astronaut, you've gone to the moon 10 times, like dull it down a little because this should be relatable. You don't want to be like intimidating to people. You want to keep it super relatable. So choose something about yourself that's relatable to share. And then your second piece is before Pure Haven. And again, you can choose a product or a business or your business story. What were your challenges? And then the most important part is how did that make you feel? Um, Part three is after using Pure Haven products or getting your business started, what results have you seen so far? And how does that make you feel? And then part four is what are you most excited about for the future? All right, so we're going to break this down, and I'm going to ask Svat and Michelle to share with me one sentence. What's your background? Who are you? So we're going to kind of workshop this with the people who are attending. So Michelle, give me your one sentence. Who are you?
I am a child of God.
Okay, let's try again. Michelle, who are you?
I am a retired banker that has two businesses.
Okay. Um, so Spat, who are you?
I'm an entrepreneur. I own a business and I educate about the prevalence of toxins and how to detox inside out. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Now, let's try
Oh,
again. We want to start with who are you? Like, all right. So again,
Personally,
relatable, personal, prior to Pure Haven, like, how do you identify yourself? Who are you? For me, it was I'm a mom, I have three
as Debbie said,
kids. Like who are you in one quick sentence, sum it up. Um, I'm an entrepreneur. That's a little, I mean, it's you're going to the end of the story. You want to start with who you are prior to your starting Pure Haven. And I would even say that for you, Michelle, retired banker. I have, I have 2 kids. I would also put in there, your fibromyalgia struggle. You, again, you're making it relatable. You're finding common threads that people can relate to you on. So let's
Well,
try
that's what I
again.
was gonna say. I'm a mother of 2 grown daughters, and I have one 16-year-old granddaughter.
Great.
And I suffered with severe pain for 26 years.
Okay. So that's your challenge. So I wouldn't go into the fibromyalgia
Okay.
quite yet. I'd do that next. But, retired banker, mom of 2 girls, grandmother of a 16-year-old. That's what I would say. Spat, what about you? How can we?
Categorize me? That's a good question. I'm an
You're a
orphan
great
vet.
friend. You're a great friend.
Yeah, I know it's relatable, but no, it's like, who am I? I don't know who I am.
Hey, Jess. So I would start with
I'm not
uh
married. I have no kids. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a dog mom.
so
Like,
I would start with I'm a veteran. I moved to this country at 18.
13.
I 13, sorry. And I work part-time in a chiropractor's office.
Okay.
Yeah. Jess, we're going over the components of the story. So I know you're driving, so I'm not going to pick on you to tell your thing, but we're on the very first thing. So what's your background? Who are you? And this is kind of before where you were when you started your Pure Haven business. All right. So the next piece is before Pure Haven, what was your challenge? And how did that make you feel? And now I would recommend stating 3 challenges. So you're going to keep them really succinct. You're not going to go into a lot of detail on them. One of them can be a product challenge. One of them can be a monetary challenge. One of them can be about, feeling like you're the only person in your world that cares about non-toxic. One of them can be about, so we always look at what does Pure Haven provide people as a business? And we look at financial fun. We look at freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. We look at financial fun, freedom, time freedom, and what's the last one? There's another one.
Community.
Nope, that's fine. Well, yeah, okay, community. So friends. So you can talk about that. You can talk about, love of travel and wanting to earn, wanting to go on vacation and that kind of thing. And you can talk about how you're working on earning trips. You can talk about working on earning a car. Gina was showing me today during a power hour, she was showing me, Gina, we have 2 Ginas now. So Gina Fidelity was showing me the car that she is putting on her vision board that she'd like to earn with Pure Haven. So, that could be a thing. All right. So, I would recommend 3 things because their mind resonates with the number 3. So think of 3 things that are a challenge. So, Michelle, what 3 things can you say succinctly were a challenge prior to Pure Haven?
So before Pure Haven, I had complications from surgery. I suffered from severe fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and I was taken out of work and I had money problems.
Spat, what about you? Okay, Spat's busy. All right. So,
Mhm.
now since you started with Pure Haven, what results have you seen so far, and how does that make you feel, Michelle?
Well, I didn't say how that stuff made me feel. So am I
Okay.
supposed to do that first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could barely get up for 3 o'clock to get my daughter off the bus. And when I did get up, I felt like I got hit by a truck. And I slept for 14 hours and was always tired. And I felt like a failure and I felt like crap. But when I started integrating Pure Haven products
Well,
into my
you
home,
wanna you
okay.
wanna talk about the money piece too. You mentioned
Oh,
that money
yeah,
was a problem.
yeah. And
So
we
talk
used
about how
to,
that made you feel.
right. And having money issues was a major problem. And it made me feel like a failure because I couldn't
Yeah.
provide for my children.
Yeah. All right. So I would focus on trying to tighten that up a
Yeah,
little bit because you want to be able to do this really fast. And that's not just talking fast, it's
right.
keeping your editing yourself so that your words, you're using the bare minimum number of words you can to convey these messages. You can make it longer. So you'll want to practice like a long version and a short version of this, but I would make sure that you're getting that message across as quickly as possible. All right. So what about after using Pure or after starting with Pure Haven, what results have you seen and how does that make you feel?
Well, once I started swapping all of my products out and I got to the cleaning products and the laundry detergent, I had no more fibromyalgia flare ups. I had no more chronic fatigue. I felt like I feel like I'm in my 40s and I'm 65, and Pure Haven supplements my Social Security.
Perfect. Perfect. And what are you like most excited about for the future?
I am excited to share this mission with people and to educate them about the non-toxic products. I mean, the toxins that are in their everyday products that they use and are
Great.
really causing health issues. Yeah.
Great. So we talked about this at National Tour. A lot of people don't want to feel salesy when they tell their story. What most people do is they skip parts 1 and 2 and they go right to parts 3 and 4. So they talk about why Pure Haven's a solution and what they're excited about for the future. If you skip the struggle, you are being salesy or you are sounding salesy. So you need to, the most important part of this whole thing is section 2, where you talk about
The challenge.
the
Yeah.
challenge. So I'm going to tell you my story. Hi, everybody. My name is Beth Newberry. I've been with Pure Haven for 13 years. I started my journey with the company back when my 3 kids were little. My youngest was 6. He had just started school. I had been a stay-at-home mommy. And at that time, there were a few things going on. First of all, my middle son, Liam, had been diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, and um, I was taking him to doctor's appointments. I was taking him to 504 plan meetings, and that was a lot of work, and I needed to spend a lot of time doing that. So my husband wanted me to go and get a job to help put away money for the kids for college and for our retirement. But I was really conflicted because I didn't want to be away from home. I wanted to make sure I could provide that stability to get my kids off the bus, take them to their afternoon things, also to make sure that I was helping my son, helping navigate all this on for my stuff for my son with all of our doctor's appointments and all of our meetings at school. In addition to that, I love to travel, but we would do vacations with the family, and I was not able to ever, really travel the way I wanted to, because I was always, making sure that the kids were having a good time. I was making meals. I was putting sunscreen on kids. Like, it's hard going as a mom and being on vacation. Um, so that's kind of what I was struggling with when Pure Haven, when I was introduced to Pure Haven. When I found Pure Haven, not only was I able to get safe, clean products into my home, but I was also able to work around my kids' schedule and get them off the bus. I was able to help my family get money to put aside for the kids for college and set aside for retirement. And I was able to earn 11 trips, 10 or 11 trips, I lose count, that were all expense paid vacations where it was just me or just me and my husband, and I didn't have to bring the kids along, which was really nice. What I'm most excited about now with my business is helping other women start their own business and succeed in their own business. Now, I made that a little longer. That was a long version, but you got all of those elements in there, right? So I'm going to encourage all of you to practice, practice, practice this story. It is the most important thing you can do for your business is learning how to tell your story and learning how to tell just not your, your business story, but also product stories. So that's pretty much all I have for you. I challenge all of you to work on this, revise it, practice it on your animals, practice it on your friends, practice it on whoever will listen. When we were at National Tour out in Detroit, I was with Jen Pacelli. We were going to the airport together the day after we had this training, and I said, okay, you're going to tell your story today. And she kind of looked nervous. And I said, okay, I'm going to practice right now. And I told my story to the waitress, and I just asked her, can I tell you my story? I said, I've been challenged to tell my story to one person a day for the next 10 days. Can I tell you my story? And she didn't have any other table. She was like, sure. So I told her my story, and she's interested in joining. So we're going to stay in touch. But that is really the most important thing you can do for your business is tell your story and get really confident at telling it. Any questions?
No.
Well, I
I
need
was
some help perfecting mine. And so I've definitely come a long way since I first joined because I didn't have a
Good.
story, or at least I didn't think so. But
So everybody has a story, even on the first day that you join, you have a story, you made the decision, right? We need to get okay with our story not being exciting. And actually, the less exciting your story is, the more relatable it is. People who have, I actually remember working with a team member who was telling her cancer journey story. And we started working on how to make it more relatable because not everybody has that cancer journey to talk about, right? And she actually was making it harder to relate to her by sharing this story that was really meaningful, but not making it, but sort of people who didn't have a cancer journey weren't able to. They were thinking, well, you have cancer, of course you were gonna, your oncologist told you to get rid of your products in your home, but how do I relate to that? So having a story that's really relatable and not very exciting is actually really good.
okay,
And
so now I don't
having
have a story at all then.
and having a story that, I mean, people, I when I was launching my new consultant this past week, she's like, oh, talk about your car. Not Most people don't think they're going to be able to accomplish that. So almost making your story simpler and more relatable is helpful. And so saying, I joined and now I know that I have peace of mind when I'm buying my products. And my hope for the future is that I'm able to, you know, help other people, like that's enough of a story. And I think sometimes people want to make their story over the top, and that's not helpful.
So when I lead, well, I do lead with sitting in the oncologist's office, getting that list, after my mom was diagnosed.
Mhm.
Is that hurting me? Do you think maybe that's why, even though cancer has touched so many lives right now?
No, I think if you say that was your realization that this is a problem, like you're not talking about your cancer journey, you're talking about how it made you realize
Yeah.
that this is a problem is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll stick with that. And I was a lot more mindful today with not trying to make it about myself, even though I kept saying like, I want. I was like, I'm not trying to make it as like, it's just an opportunity that I want to provide. But I was a lot more mindful going like, okay, I keep saying I want to help people. So,
Mhm.
but hopefully but I got a bunch of one-on-ones that I'll reach out to.
Good.
And I
Have
took
you
yeah.
have you considered
Hold on. What?
have you considered
Yeah.
is much better wording than I want, right?
Yes, yes. And I've talked to some people, but like it was interesting. And some were honest and they said, you know, it's too much work and I don't want to have my
Those aren't
own
your
business.
people. Those aren't your people.
Right, right.
And sometimes they might. I mean, sometimes it takes a while, yeah, as this gentleman mentioned to you. Sometimes it takes a while. I shared on a coaching call today. I reached out to a preferred club member to say, "Hey, your order's going to ship. Do you need anything?" And she said, "No, thank you." And then I saw that she canceled her preferred club membership. So I reached back out and I said, "Hey, I know you left the laundry detergent. I saw you canceled your preferred club membership." And she said, "I can't afford it." And I said, "Well, I know we've talked about this before. Is work still crazy busy? A lot of the consultants on my team do the business to support their habit, their product habit, and I can help you with getting your products for free by having some customers and getting your products." And so she's interested now in joining. But if I hadn't followed up to that email about, "Hey, I see you canceled your preferred club membership. How come?" We wouldn't have had that conversation, right?
Well, but like, so in my defense with following up, I know it's hard for me. We've talked about this. That's a challenge for me. So when I
Mhm.
saw this gentleman today at this event, I actually went because he saw me, but he avoided me. So I finally went up to him like, hey,
Yeah, good
I was
job.
like, I don't want to waste your time or mine.
Yeah,
Just let me. And he was like, no, she's been busy. Like, well, I said, I get it. Just let me know that you're busy.
yeah, yeah. All right. So I am going to end our call. I'm going to put the recording up in circles. So I want you all, my challenge to all of you is to share your story, work on those 4 components and share your story on Circle and keep working on it and keep practicing it. But that's one place that you can practice, right?
Okay.
So, all right. I'll see you all later. Have a great night.
Yay.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Thank you.